want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down. Aiming for greatness, no settling. Kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Taking no else, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Who running the game now? Foot on the gas, can slow down. No, my team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change.
Welcome to another edition of the It's Cavalier podcast. It's your boy, Mac. Today, our Cleveland Cavaliers took on the Charlotte Hornets in a game that I think many of us envisioned as one of the easier ones on the schedule. That said, it's no disrespect to them. You always want to take your opponent seriously. But time and time again, as we have seen throughout the duration of NBA history, the lesser team can beat you if you let your guard down or if you don't take them seriously enough. Was that the case today? No, I don't think so. And quite honestly, guys, it's probably going to be a short stream. It's Sunday. That loss just pissed me off, and you probably hear my family in the background. This was just an abysmal loss. Now, there were some good things. I'll try and get through those in quick succession before I get out of here. One thing that I can say, I remain disappointed from this team from a collective standpoint. This is a golden opportunity on their hands to get and string together some victories. Obviously, this 5 to 6 game stretch, including the Washington game that they just barely won, this is an opportunity for them to string together some victories over sub 500 opponents before their Christmas Day matchup with the New York Knicks, who just look like the better team as of right now. Cavaliers have not played that way. Now, I don't even want to call it a bright side. I really don't want to call them bright sides because I feel like this is a demoralizing victory. But I do have to admit it was nice seeing Darius Garland get back to playing better basketball, especially after going 0 of 11 from the field or 0 of 11 from three-point distance against the Washington Wizards. He would put up 26 points and 9 assists on 8 of 19 from the field, including 3 of 7 from deep. So that was one nice thing to see. Jalen Tyson was quite productive, finishing with another double-double on the season, 16 points, 13 rebounds, 6 of 13 from the floor, and it was very crucial, especially in the second half of this game and towards getting the Cavaliers back into it. Dean Wade, he was another positive, 14 points, 8 rebounds in his start at the 4 today. 31 points, 31 minutes and 33 seconds of action, was 5 of 9 from the field, including 3 of 6 from deep. I thought his work on the glass was indicative of his effort out there. I have not much bad to say about Dean Wade today. Cannot say the same for DeAndre Hunter. This was yet another performance in which DeAndre felt literally invisible out there. 4 points on 1 of 7 from the field. What is going on, DeAndre? I've said time and time again, I think it is time for DeAndre Hunter to come off the bench. And after today, I'm even more ready to say that. I think that he has played himself into a bench role. And I think in terms of getting his consistency back from an offensive standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, I think getting him those added touches in rhythm on ball as a creator is going to do much more for his game than being an off-ball role player in the starting lineup when Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, and presumably Evan Mobley, when he returns, is going to render him more off-ball than he would probably feel comfortable with. Lonzo Ball, in my opinion, is a mercurial dude in terms of opinions around the fan base. Lonzo Ball was very, very impressive today, especially on the defensive end. He would finish with 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals. That was big. Lonzo came up with one of the more crucial steals in this and crucial sequences in this game, honestly, and getting the Cavaliers to overtime. I thought from the field it was a lot better, 3 of 8. That doesn't scream efficient. That's just 37.5% from the field, including 1 of 5 from deep. But he still finds ways to make up for that with where he's contributing in other areas. I already mentioned on the defensive end, I think on the glass, he was very, very big time in that area. And I overall just loved the way that he was able to balance things out and when other guys weren't able to get it done. It was key in getting the Cavaliers on some of these pushes to get back into it. He played 31 minutes and 54 seconds of action tonight. Quality performance despite the inefficiency from Lonzo. And that's another reason why my belief in him is what it is. He's got to string together a couple of these in a row before people start to change their minds. But these last two games, where remember, he was a plus 26, if I'm not mistaken, against Washington. And now he has another very, very solid performance tonight where he has -1, but that's more indicative, I think, of the team play, because as we all know, plus minus is a team stat, but he is adding in all these other areas. So I was impressed with him. And my daughter's probably going off in the background. You guys can hear it. So I'm not going to stay on here too long. Thomas Bryant, I thought he was a positive, 10 points, 6 rebounds in his about 15 minutes of action. I thought that he was a breath of fresh air out there. But outside of all these things, I did not love what I saw from a defensive standpoint. I thought, Knipple, the rookie, very, very impressive. Got to give him credit where it's due. He was 11 for 19 from the floor today. That's 29 points in his 43 minutes out there. I thought he did just about as good as he could to carry this team over in Charlotte home to a victory. I thought that Musa Diabate was very, 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 very impactful in his 22 minutes of action, especially on the glass. 6 rebounds for him. This is a person that I think can be very, very impactful in a small amount of time. Cyan James, I thought that him kicking off the game, scoring or knocking down 3 triples within the first 5 minutes of the game, that was huge. And that was a tone setter for a Charlotte team that we know loves to put up that 3-point shot. They attempted 44 tonight. They knocked down 38.6% of them. That translates to 17 makes. Cleveland, on the other hand, they only took 38 triples. I mean, they only knocked down 31.6% of them, but that is that's in terms of getting more involvement on the interior. I suppose that's something that we can look to as trending in the right direction, but that's really it, man. It's Charlotte, and I'm here looking and scratching and clawing for defense. I'm not defense for positives against a team that should not necessarily be in the same stratosphere as Cleveland. That's what pisses me off. That's what's going to get out of that's what's going to get me out of here early today. But I kicked this off by saying, listen, this is a disappointing loss, and it comes against a team that is under 500, an opportunity for the Cavaliers to clean up on teams under 500 is what's being presented to them as of right now. And they're failing to do that. I mean, they barely got by against Washington. They needed Donovan Mitchell to go nuclear that one just to come up with the victory. And I thought tonight, at least in the first half, didn't love what I saw. I thought they gave a much better effort in the second half, but then overtime came. And here's the real kicker here. They failed to score at all. They scored 0 points in the overtime period. In that 5th and final frame, they got outscored 8-0 against this Charlotte team that shouldn't really be in their same category, same stratosphere. It was ugly to watch in that overtime period. You can boil it down to coaching. You can boil it down to poor shot making. And you really just find and pick your poison on why the Cavaliers lost or failed to execute a victory in the final stages of this game. I'm just too tired, man, to beat a dead horse. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I feel just exasperated, right? I feel like this team is just, there's something off about them. There's something off. Obviously, injuries play their standpoint. They play their role. Again, this is the first performance without Evan Mobley for the next 2 to 4 weeks. I did a live stream on that just the other day as soon as the news dropped. And I told you guys, it's a big deal. I know a lot of people were in the comments telling me, it's not a big issue. It's probably a good thing. Honestly, no, not with the way the Cavaliers have been playing this year, not with the injuries that they have sustained this year. They cannot afford many, many more of these. I know that the degree of separation in terms of the win-loss record, right, in the Eastern Conference, it's very, very small. 2 wins can be the difference between being a 3rd seed and being the 7th or 8th seed. Then I understand that. But the margin for error is just so small that, Evan Mobley's absence is big time, especially when Jared Allen is obviously not 100%. And I do appreciate him being back out there, him giving it a go. And I thought they tried to get him active early on. And I think that's important, especially when you don't have Evan Mobley available and you can really only rely on Dean Wade and Thomas Bryant. But clearly he is not 100%. I think that was pretty apparent. And I also give Charlotte their fair share of credit as they were rejecting a lot of Jared Allen shots, especially in the early going in that first quarter. I did not love seeing that, but I did love seeing Jared Allen out there. I think you are going to need him more and more with Evan Mobley out of the lineup. I say all of this to say there's not too much that I can pull away from this game that pinpoints to positives. I listed all that I could. The negatives are there. They've been there all season long. And there's just no use for me to beat a dead horse around it. So right now, I'm just going to hop into the chat real quick, and then I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Floyd Phillips II says, poor coaching. Why is Darius Garland on the court on a final defensive possession? Even if you boil this down to Darius being in the game, I don't think the Cavaliers would have been in this game, period, had Darius Garland not performed the way that he did. Yeah, I think that you can make an argument that he should not have been on that last defensive possession, but due to the fact that they failed to score, period, in this one, I just don't have it in me to truly be pissed off about Kenny making that decision. Reed Watson, 263, says 0 points scored in overtime. Absolutely pathetic. Nate 406 says Nets, money line. Let's fucking go. If you bet on the Hornets tonight, good for you. E. Jackson H1K says, this is so embarrassing to lose to the Hornets, Mac. No lie. I also believe we can we out of gas in overtime. We did not score at all in overtime, man. This is one going to be talked about all day. Shaking my head. Yeah. They made the effort to come back in the second half only to fail to score a single damn point in overtime. That sucks to watch. Jorge Campos says, Jalen Tyson throwing that towel sums up the Cavs season so far. On to the next one. Jalen Tyson has played his ass off to begin the season. He has clearly shown effort night in, night out. I have no malice in my heart for Jalen Tyson. I think that he has been one of the few bright spots on this team to start the season and has consistently showcased a valiant effort out there in terms of wanting to win. This clearly matters to him. We've already heard the comments from him calling out the veterans on this team. I think that's important to take into consideration. This is a player that clearly wants to win. Vince Robinson says, Cavs are bad this year. It feels like it. I feel like we haven't watched the actual 2025-26 Cavaliers as a whole, but they played shitty so far. So that's fair. Deanna says sleepwalking. That's what it often feels like at times. But I think poor shot making is probably what doomed them, at least in the early going of this one and in overtime, obviously. Floyd says, DG is still hurt. Dude, just sit out, please. DG was phenomenal today in many aspects. It wasn't perfect. So I'm, maybe not phenomenal. Maybe that's overselling it. But I thought Darius Garland was a very good portion of the reason why they were able to be in this game in the first place. 26 points, 9 assists. Yeah, I did turn the ball over 4 times, but at the end of the day, I just don't think they win this game, or they're not necessarily in this game, period, if Darius wasn't knocking down some of the shots when he did, because I thought his makes were actually pretty timely out there, and I thought he was moving the ball quite well. John Turner says, I think we dropped to 28th in three-point percentage. It's been bad, man. It's been bad. And yes, Floyd, DG was limping at times. Donovan Mitchell did cut his mouth, I think maybe on contact that he had at a point in that fourth quarter. But, man, it was rough. There's been so many injury scares this season, and I'm so tired of that happening to this Cleveland Cavaliers team. But at the end of the day, this is the Charlotte Hornets we're talking about. And again, I don't want to be disrespectful to that fan base. I don't want to be disrespectful to that franchise, but this team should not be struggling against a team like Charlotte, especially with the injuries that they had coming into this one. And again, we all know the story with Cleveland's injuries, but I'm just saying, they entered today without LaMelo Ball, without Colin Sexton, without Pat Connaughton, without Trey Mann, right? No Grant Williams still. He hasn't appeared yet this season. There's no excuses. There's no excuses why they shouldn't have won this game. Like, there's no excuses at all why they lost. I can point to this, and that and say, hey, these are positives. But at the end of the day, I'm still very pissed about how this ended up. And I'm just ready. I'm just ready to just say, man, just like, what are you guys doing? For the people out there that want to break the core up, no, not there. I'm not at that point, but something has got to change. They have to find something. They have to dig deep. They have to figure out, hey, do we actually want to be here? Something has got to change. Something's got to change. And I think I'm just going to end it on that. I appreciate you guys for hopping on the live stream. I just do not have it in me to continue giving away my energy and my time on a Sunday against a team that you should have been able to, at the very least, win against. It's ridiculous. If you're here, do your boy a favor, hit that like button, subscribe. If you're not yet a subscriber to the It's Cavalier podcast, if you want to reach out to me, I can. It's Cavalier53@gmail.com. On Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more. If you want to be added to this Cavalier Discord chat, you know what to do. Leave a rating, leave a review, send a screenshot of said review to It's Cavalier53@gmail.com, and I will send you said invite. If you're over on X, go over YouTube right now, man. For your troubles, hit that like button, hype the video up. You never know how much you help out your favorite content creators when you do so. And last but not least, if you want to support the show in a small but helpful way, consider becoming a member over on Patreon. You can do so on YouTube for as little as $1 a month as well. But even if you don't, you know your boy will be here come rain or shine because I love this team, even when they let me down. And I know you guys do too. Go Cavs.